Winning the lottery might seem like a dream come true, but for some, it's the beginning of a financial nightmare. In this journey, we'll discuss the astonishing stories of the biggest lottery losers in the US. In 1988, William Bud Post III's life took a dramatic turn when he won $16.2 million in the Pennsylvania lottery, a moment that seemed like a stroke of incredible luck. However, this windfall soon became a source of his downfall. Post's troubles began almost immediately after his win. Lacking experience in financial management, he made several hasty decisions that started draining his newfound wealth. He indulged in extravagant purchases, including buying a twin-engine airplane, even though he had no pilot's license, and investing in expensive and ill-fated business ventures. These spending sprees rapidly depleted his lottery winnings. But the financial mismanagement was just the beginning. Post faced a series of personal and legal troubles that compounded his problems. His brother was arrested for hiring a hitman in an attempt to inherit the lottery winnings. This shocking betrayal was a painful personal blow and a costly legal entanglement for Post. He also found himself embroiled in numerous other legal battles, including disputes over the money with his ex-girlfriend and other family members, leading to more expenses and emotional distress. As if these challenges weren't enough, Post's lack of financial acumen led him into further trouble. He accrued debts, as his lifestyle and the legal battles drained his lottery fortune. Without a solid plan to manage or invest his winnings sustainably, he found himself in a precarious financial position. Eventually, the continuous financial bleed led Post to a point of no return. Just a few years after his lottery win, he was forced to declare bankruptcy. The man who had once won millions was now living on a meager Social Security income. His story turned from one of incredible luck to a cautionary tale about the perils of sudden wealth. After Bud Post's tale of quick riches and quicker losses, let's turn to Jeffrey Dampier. His story takes us from lottery joy to a dark twist of fate. In 1996, Dampier's life changed dramatically when he won a staggering $20 million in the Illinois lottery, an event that initially seemed like a gateway to a life of joy and abundance. After his big win, Dampier, like many lottery winners, indulged in the pleasures his newfound wealth could afford. He generously shared his fortune with family and friends, genuinely wanting to uplift the lives of those around him. Dampier spent his winnings on gifts, helping relatives, and even investing in a business venture. He started a gourmet popcorn shop, which was an embodiment of his dream to build something meaningful with his winnings. However, the dream turned into a nightmare due to the greed and deceit that sometimes come with immense wealth. In a harrowing turn of events, Dampier became the victim of a kidnapping and murder plot orchestrated by his family members. The plot was led by his sister-in-law Victoria Jackson and her boyfriend Nathaniel Jackson. In July 2005, nearly a decade after his lottery win, Dampier was lured into Victoria's apartment under the pretense of helping her. It was there that he was ambushed. The kidnappers' initial plan was to hold Dampier for ransom, but the situation escalated horrifically, resulting in Dampier's murder. The betrayal by family members whom he had trusted and supported makes the story all the more tragic and unsettling. The investigation into Dampier's death revealed the dark underbelly of greed and how it can corrupt. The trial that followed was a grim spectacle, exposing the bitter truth about how money can twist relationships and lead to unimaginable outcomes. Victoria and Nathaniel Jackson were both found guilty of the crime and were sentenced to life in prison. From Dampier's tragic end, we move to Janet Leigh. She had the best intentions with her winnings, but were good intentions enough to keep her fortune? Janet Leigh's lottery win story exemplifies how mismanagement of wealth can lead to a rapid decline from riches to rags. In 1993, Leigh, an ordinary woman from Missouri, struck a gold by winning $18 million in the lottery, a moment that many dream of but few experience. Her story initially followed the fairy tale narrative of financial liberation and philanthropic generosity, but soon took a turn towards a cautionary tale of fiscal imprudence. Following her win, Leigh's lifestyle underwent a complete transformation. She moved from a modest existence into the realm of the wealthy, spending lavishly on luxury items. She bought a $1 million mansion in a prestigious neighborhood. cars, and indulged in extravagant habits. This kind of spending, while common among lottery winners, can quickly drain even the most substantial of fortunes if not kept in check. But it wasn't just personal luxury that led to Lee's financial downfall. What set her story apart was her immense generosity. Lee donated large sums to various causes and community services. She was particularly generous towards educational programs, community services, and political organizations. While her philanthropy was admirable, it was also a significant factor in her financial decline. The donations, coupled with her extravagant lifestyle, significantly depleted her lottery winnings. Furthermore, Lee's inexperience with financial management played a crucial role in her bankruptcy. Winning such a vast sum can be overwhelming, and without proper financial advice or planning, it's easy to misjudge the longevity of the funds. Lee's case was a classic example of this, as her spending and donations outpaced the sustainable management of her wealth. By 2001, just 8 years after a life-changing win, Janet Lee found herself in a financial quagmire, leading her to file for bankruptcy. Her case was a sharp turn from a dream come true to a stark reminder of the perils of poor financial management. Leaving Janet Lee's generous spirit behind, next is Callie Rogers. Winning young brought her millions, but was youth a blessing or a curse in managing wealth? Callie Rogers, in 2003, at just 16 years old, won around $3 million in the UK lottery, becoming one of the youngest lottery winners ever. This extraordinary windfall, however, soon turned into a cautionary tale about youth and sudden wealth. At an age when most teenagers are just starting to learn about financial responsibility, Rogers found herself with more money than she had ever imagined. Initially, the win seemed like a fairy tale come true, offering her a life filled with possibilities that were previously unthinkable. She embarked on a spending spree, a natural reaction perhaps for someone so young suddenly bestowed with such wealth. Rogers spent lavishly on cosmetic surgery, high-end clothes, and other luxury items. She was drawn into a lifestyle characterized by extravagance and instant gratification, a lifestyle that her sudden wealth made possible. However, these expenditures quickly began to take a toll on her fortune. Beyond the tangible items, Rogers also faced personal hardships that were amplified by her lottery win. The pressure and attention that came with her sudden wealth were overwhelming. As a teenager, navigating this new reality, along with the complex dynamics of relationships that money brought into her life, proved to be challenging. Rogers' story also touches on the darker side of sudden fame and wealth. She encountered issues such as trust and exploitation, as people around her viewed her differently because of her wealth. The psychological impact of this shift in her life was significant and led to further struggles. As the years passed, Rogers' fortune dwindled. The combination of unchecked spending, the cost of maintaining a certain lifestyle, and dealing with personal issues gradually eroded her lottery winnings. By the time she was in her 20s, much of the money was gone, leaving her to confront the realities of life with limited financial resources. After Callie's youthful spending spree, we dive into Michael Carroll's story. Known as the Lotto Lout, did his big win bring lasting happiness or just fleeting thrills? Michael Carroll's lottery win story is dramatic, marked by extravagance and eventual ruin. In 2002, Carroll, a binman in the UK, won a staggering £9.7 million in the lottery. His win was a sensational event, catapulting him from a modest lifestyle to the heights of wealth overnight. However, Carroll's story soon turned into a cautionary tale about the perils of unchecked spending and the fleeting nature of fortune. Carroll, often referred to as the Lotto Lout, became notorious for his extravagant lifestyle following his lottery win. He indulged in luxuries that seemed endless. His purchases included expensive cars, lavish parties, and luxury holidays. He was known for his fondness for demolition derbies, which he would host on his estate, using the expensive cars he bought. This flamboyant lifestyle not only cost him a significant portion of his winnings, but also attracted widespread media attention. However, the lifestyle Carroll chose to lead post-lottery win had deeper consequences. His behavior led to numerous legal troubles. He frequently found himself on the wrong side of the law, facing charges ranging from drug possession to disorderly conduct. These legal issues not only tarnished his public image, but also came with financial penalties, further depleting his lottery fortune. The continuous extravagant spending, combined with his legal woes, quickly drained Carroll's lottery winnings. Despite the vast sum he had won, his lack of investment and reckless expenditure led him down the path to financial ruin. By 2012, just a decade after his lottery win, Carroll had declared bankruptcy. He had spent his entire fortune, with nothing substantial to show for it. From Carroll's reckless extravagance, we shift to Evelyn Adams. Two-time lottery luck, but did it double her joy or her troubles? In an extraordinary stroke of luck, Adams won the New Jersey lottery not once, but twice, in 1985 and 1986, accumulating a total of millions in winnings. However, her story stands as a testament to how quickly fortune can slip through one's fingers when mishandled. Adams' lottery wins made her an instant millionaire, a dream for many. With her newfound wealth, she suddenly had access to a lifestyle most people can only fantasize about. But it was her decisions following the wins that led her down a path of financial ruin. One of the critical factors in Adams' eventual hardship was her penchant for gambling. The thrill of winning the lottery seemed to fuel a gambling habit that was already in place. Adams frequented Atlantic City's casinos, where she spent a significant portion of her winnings. Her gambling was not just a hobby, it became an addiction. The casinos, with their glitz and glamour, were an irresistible lure, leading her to gamble away large sums of money regularly. As the years passed, the millions that Adams had won started to dwindle. The constant flow of cash into casino coffers didn't just reduce her lottery winnings, it ate into her entire financial reservoir. Gambling, by its very nature, comes with no guarantees, and for Adams, the odds eventually turned against her. The financial impact of her gambling addiction was severe. Adams found herself in a situation where the millions she had won were completely gone. She faced financial hardship, a stark contrast to the life of luxury she'd briefly experienced. Her story turned from one of incredible luck to a cautionary tale about the dangers of gambling and financial mismanagement. Following Evelyn Adams' gambling downfall, we encounter Billy Bob Harrell Jr.'s heartbreak. A life-changing win, but at what cost to his life? It was 1997, when Harrell, a Texan, experienced a life-changing event when he won $31 million in the Texas lottery. However, what appeared to be a blessing soon unraveled into a series of personal and financial hardships, culminating in a tragic end. Before his lottery win, Harrell had been struggling financially, working at Home Depot and juggling various jobs to support his family. The lottery win seemed like an answer to his prayers, offering relief from his financial burdens and the promise of a comfortable life. Initially, Harrell used his winnings to fulfill his family's dreams and needs. He bought a ranch, a few homes, and cars, and generously shared his fortune with his church and community. However, the sudden influx of wealth also brought unforeseen challenges. Harrell found himself inundated with requests for money, not just from family and friends, but from a seemingly endless line of people seeking financial aid. His inability to say no to these requests started to strain his finances. Moreover, Harrell made a significant financial decision that further complicated his situation. He opted for a business arrangement that provided him with annual payouts instead of a lump sum. While this seemed like a wise choice initially, the deal eventually led to financial strain, as his spending outpaced the installment payments. Personal struggles accompanied Harrell's financial woes. The pressure of managing his new wealth and the constant demands for money took a toll on his personal life. His marriage fell apart, and Harrell found himself battling loneliness and depression. The man who once had everything found himself struggling with the emotional and psychological weight of his new life. Tragically, these mounting pressures led to Harrell's untimely passing. Just a couple of years after his lottery win, overwhelmed by his circumstances, Harrell saw no way out of the spiral of despair his life had become. Next is David Lee Edwards. Did his millions pave a road to success or a path to ruin? In 2001, Edwards, a Kentucky resident, hit the jackpot, winning $27 million in the lottery. This windfall presented him with an opportunity to turn his life around. but it quickly spiraled into a cautionary tale of excess and misfortune. Edwards, who had struggled with unemployment and had a history of legal issues before his win, saw the lottery as a fresh start. Initially, he made headlines for his rags-to-riches story, and his extravagant spending spree captured public attention. He spent millions on luxurious cars, expensive homes, a private jet, and high-end jewelry. His new mansion in Florida was filled with medieval armor and other lavish furnishings. Edwards' spending was not just extravagant, it was impulsive and uncontrolled. However, the lifestyle Edwards chose to lead came at a high cost. His wealth attracted people who sought to take advantage of his newfound fortune. Edwards also made high-risk investments that did not pay off. His lack of financial acumen and the absence of trusted financial advisors led to a rapid depletion of his fortune. As his money dwindled, Edwards faced a series of health and legal problems. His excessive lifestyle led to health issues, compounded by his struggle with substance abuse. Additionally, his legal troubles resurfaced, draining his finances further. The constant legal battles and healthcare costs became a significant burden. Tragically, Edwards' story does not have a happy ending. Within a few years of winning the lottery, all of his wealth was gone. He lost his home, cars, and other possessions. The man who once lived in a luxurious mansion ended up living in a storage unit, surrounded by remnants of his former wealth. Edwards passed away in debt and largely forgotten, a stark contrast to the life of luxury he once led. Edwards' story of loss sets the stage for Jack Whittaker, a record jackpot winner, but did fortune favor him in the end? In 2002, Whittaker, a West Virginia businessman, won an astonishing $315 million in the Powerball jackpot, the largest single-ticket jackpot ever won at the time. This monumental win, however, marked the beginning of a series of misfortunes and challenges that drastically changed his life. Already a millionaire before his lottery win, Whittaker opted for a lump sum payout, receiving about $113 million after taxes. With his immense wealth, he pledged to use it for good, starting with donating a significant portion to his church and establishing the Jack Whittaker Foundation to support charitable causes. However, the influx of such a vast sum also brought a series of complications and misadventures. Whittaker's life post-lottery win was plagued by legal and personal problems. He faced numerous lawsuits, some stemming from business ventures and others from personal disputes. His newfound wealth made him a target for litigation, as people sought a share of his jackpot through legal means. The stress of constant legal battles took a toll on Whittaker and his family life. Alongside legal troubles, Whittaker experienced significant personal losses. He faced tragedies in his family, including the loss of his granddaughter, which deeply affected him. These personal sorrows were compounded by the numerous thefts he experienced. Whittaker was robbed several times, with thieves targeting his car and home, knowing his lottery winner status. The losses from these thefts added up to millions. Despite his intentions to do good with his winnings, Whittaker's life turned into a series of unfortunate events. The public scrutiny and pressure that came with his win were overwhelming. His relationships, public image, and personal life deteriorated in the years following his lottery success. Stepping away from Whittaker's turbulent journey, let's see how Alex Toth handled his windfall. Was it a dream come true or a financial nightmare? In 1990, Toth, a resident of Florida, won a staggering $13 million in the lottery, a windfall that promised to change his life forever. However, instead of leading to a future of comfort and stability, Toth's lottery win became the source of his downfall due to a series of missteps and miscalculations. Initially, Toth and his family were overjoyed by the win, envisioning a life free from financial worries. Like many lottery winners, he indulged in a few luxuries and shared his good fortune with those close to him. However, the problems began when Toth started to lose track of his spending and financial management. Without a clear plan or budget, his spending spiraled out of control, leading to the rapid depletion of his lottery winnings. As his financial situation deteriorated, Toth faced another, more serious issue: tax evasion charges. He failed to pay federal income tax on his lottery winnings, a grave oversight with severe consequences. The Internal Revenue Service, or IRS, took notice, and Toth found himself entangled in legal troubles. Dealing with the IRS and the associated legal battles proved to be costly and stressful, further draining his financial resources. Toth's failure to manage his tax obligations responsibly led to a downward spiral. The pressure of dealing with the IRS, coupled with his diminished funds, took a toll on his personal life and mental health. The stress of his situation was compounded by his inability to maintain a steady income or replenish his depleting funds. Eventually, the combination of unchecked spending, tax evasion charges, and legal fees pushed Toth to financial ruin. He filed for bankruptcy, a stark reversal of the prosperity he had briefly enjoyed. His story ended in tragedy as he passed away while still entangled in legal and financial difficulties. These stories underscore the critical importance of responsible financial management. Winning the lottery isn't just about enjoying newfound wealth, it's about navigating the complex responsibilities that come with it. For more on this theme, check out the dumbest mistakes people make when playing the lottery. Learn what not to do for a chance at lottery success. And remember, the wisest wealth management often leads to the most enduring prosperity.